Ever look at your retirement savings and wonder, is this really going to be enough to live the life I've always imagined? Well, today we're exploring a solution that's becoming a real game changer for a lot of North Americans, the idea of retiring in the Philippines. We're going to break down something called the Special Resident Retirees Visa, or SRRV, and show you how it just might unlock that comfortable, tropical lifestyle you thought was maybe out of reach. So let's just start with a reality check, right? For so many people who are planning for retirement, that dream is kind of hitting a brick wall financially. The cost of living just keeps creeping up, and all of a sudden, the numbers you thought would work just don't anymore. And this is the big question, isn't it? The one that probably keeps a lot of us up at night. You did everything right. You saved your money, you made a plan, but with the cost of housing, healthcare, and just everyday stuff in North America, that nest egg might not stretch as far as you'd hoped. We're here to talk about a way to bridge that gap. But what if you could just completely change the whole financial equation? That brings us to a pretty amazing tropical solution. Enter the Philippines, and a government program that's designed specifically for people like you, the Special Resident Retirees Visa. So why the Philippines? Well, first and foremost, and this is the big one, the cost of living is significantly lower. That means your retirement income goes much, much further. But it's not just about the money. You've got a warm, tropical climate all year round, English is spoken everywhere, and there are already these really strong expat communities, which makes settling in so much easier. Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's get into the what. This next part is all about understanding the nuts and bolts of the SRV program itself. What is it really? So here's the official definition from the Philippine Retirement Authority. Now, the two key words you really want to focus on here are indefinitely and multiple entry. See, this isn't some tourist visa you have to keep renewing over and over again. It's a stable, long-term solution that lets you live there and also come and go as you please. Now, the program has a few different flavors, but these two are the most popular ones for retirees. You've got the SRRV Smile, which is great for people who might not have a formal pension. Then there's the classic option. This one's really ideal for pensioners because the required deposit is smaller, and it even lets you use that deposit money to invest in property, like a condo. And the day-to-day advantages are huge. You get that indefinite stay with multiple entries, which means no more yearly visa renewals or long lines at the immigration office. On top of that, your pension from back home is tax-exempt in the Philippines, and you get a one-time duty-free pass to import all your household stuff. It's pretty convenient. All right. Let's get down to brass tacks, the part everyone is really curious about, the numbers. How much does this all actually cost? And what do you need to have in place to qualify? This is the magic number right here. To qualify for that popular SRVV Classic option, you need to prove you have a guaranteed lifetime pension of at least $800 a month. And this can come from government sources, like Social Security in the US or CPP and OAS in Canada, or even from a private company pension. This table breaks down the initial costs for you, and as you can see, the biggest piece of that pie is the time deposit. The application and annual fees are pretty small in comparison, but here's the most important thing to understand about that big deposit. It's not a fee you're just paying to the government. Exactly. That is the perfect way to think about it. It is your money, and it's held in a Philippine bank under your name. It basically acts as a security deposit for your residency. It's always your asset. And remember, with that classic option, you can even pull that money out to buy a condo once your visa is all set. Okay, so we've covered the why, the what, and how much. Now let's look at the how-to. This is your practical, step-by-step roadmap to actually turn this idea into a reality. This three-phase plan is basically your blueprint. First, and seriously, do not skip this step. Get written confirmation from the Philippine Retirement Authority that your income sources are good to go. Second, get your finances structured to meet the requirements. And third, and this is maybe the most important step of all, take a test drive. Go live there for 2 or 3 months on a tourist visa. It is the absolute best way to know for sure if this move is right for you before you commit. You hear this piece of advice from experienced expats over and over again, and it is pure gold. Because while the visa process itself is pretty straightforward, other things like buying property are not. Foreigners can't directly own land. So if you're thinking about buying a condo, having your own independent lawyer is absolutely essential to protect yourself. Now, to make a really smart decision, you have to look at the whole picture, right? So remember, the SRRV is a retirement visa, not a work visa. And the single biggest thing to plan for is healthcare. Your plan from back home will cover you, so you absolutely have to budget for good private health insurance. These are the kinds of details you've got to have sorted out. And that brings us to the final and, honestly, the most critical piece of this entire puzzle. A move like this isn't just a change of scenery, it is a major financial restructuring of your life. So here's the bottom line. Achieving this incredible retirement dream is totally possible. But, and this is a big but, it doesn't just happen by accident. It takes serious, careful planning. You're dealing with different currencies, tricky cross-border tax laws, and unique investment rules. Trying to figure all that out by yourself, well, it can be pretty risky. And this is exactly where getting professional guidance can be a complete game changer. A financial advisor who specializes in this stuff, like Mansoor at Muneris Financial Services, can help you with the financial engineering part of your plan. They can help structure your income to meet those visa requirements and guide you through the complex tax situation. If this is a path that sounds good to you, talking to an expert is a really smart next step to make sure your finances are rock solid. You can see the contact information on the screen now. Mansoor at Muneris Financial Services. Cell is 778-898-3202. Email is mansoor@muneris.com, and the website is muneris.com. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.